I welcome everyone for this 5 hours program on basic level MATLAB programming. So coming to the point of this course, so this will be taught from very basic scratch. So we doesn't require or we just doesn't expect any sort of prerequisites from our students, right? So it will be an absolute beginners level course. So we'll be walking our learners through the very basic scratch of MATLAB. Okay. So as I said, this is a 5 hours program. Okay. It is a 5 hours program and we'll start from the very basic scratch. Okay. So, no. Yeah, just I once again welcome everyone for this beginners to expert level program in MATLAB. So we just divide the entire course, not this 5 hours program, the entire course into 4 parts. Okay, so the first part is where we are in. Okay, so this is the 5 hours program. This is the part one. So we'll in this 5 hours we'll be learning about MATLAB skills, which are from basics to advanced. Okay, so the second part following this will be an advanced level of this handling the data types from MATLAB. Okay. The third part, the following the 2 parts will be having a machine learning for data science using MATLABs. And the final part will be a data pre-processing for machine learning using MATLABs. Okay. As I clearly mentioned, in this 5 hours of program, we'll be dealing with the part one of MATLAB, which is studying about the MATLAB skills from very basics to an intermediate level. Okay. So I just want to make sure before entering into the course, to attend this course, we doesn't want any prior knowledge. We'll be starting each and every topic from very basic scratch. Okay. So and also we'll be upon completion of each module, we'll be giving you the study materials or the working worksheet workbooks to follow the course content what we are regularly updating. Okay, so this is more or less about the course, and about the course program is like we'll be having a dedicated 50 minutes of knowledge transfer session on each day. We'll be having 50 minutes of knowledge transfer session, which is an uninterrupted session, and we'll be dedicating a 10 to 15 minutes doubt clarification, which is an interactive session post this 50 minutes knowledge transfer session. Okay, so without wasting much time, I'll just move on to our course. Okay, yeah, the very basic first thing. Okay, the first thing. Okay, the first thing is if for all you are using as software related course, what they will do first. Okay, suppose you might be aware of C program, Java, anything which any programming language or web development or even designing software, right? So before entering into the course, they'll be just guiding you what are all the GUI, the graphical user interface of the software, right? So then the same way, we'll just look into the graphical user interface of the MATLAB software, which we are going to use, right? So in this, what we are going to see, the objective of this is, so in the GUI of a MATLAB, so we'll be seeing about command window, workspace, current folder, and the various tab present in the MATLAB software. Okay, so I'll jump on to the MATLAB software. Okay, so I'll just move on to MATLAB software. Okay, so this is a MATLAB software. So I'm just using 2020A, which is the latest edition. Okay, so coming to a GUI, which is in simple terms, we want to say is GUI is nothing but the external structure of a software. Okay, so how this MATLAB looks, right? So coming to the first thing, which is the command window. Okay, in the command window only 95% of the user's input will be given. Okay, whatever may be the input for the coding script, everything will be given in this command window. For basic example, I'm just starting with a addition function. Okay, so I'll just give 8 plus 8. Okay, so everyone knows what is 8 plus 8. So I just for an just starting with a very basic scratch, I'm just doing a very basic function 8 plus 8. To run this function, I'm just pressing my enter key. Okay, so if I just press my enter key, it just gives me the value. Okay, so what I did here, I just give my function. What is my function? I just give a multiplication function now. 6 into 8. What is 6 into 8? If I just press enter, it gets executed and the result is popping out. Okay, so command window is the place where we'll be working, or the basic inputs from the user will be keep on updating, right? So we'll move on to the next thing. The next thing is the current folder. So current folder, we can just refer a current folder into a directory. So which path we are working, where is the file we are working is located, right? So I can just get my file from here. Okay, so if I have saved my file here, I can just import it directly from here. Just keep on double clicking it or something like that. It is just a directory file. So if I want to save my file, I can save somewhere here and then I can import it again. That's not a problem, right? So current folder is nothing but where we are working in which path or which directory we are currently in. Okay, so as of now, I'll minimize everything. So the next thing, as every computer user, or whether it may be a laptop or a PC, everyone knows what is this bar represents, right? So this bar is a directory bar. So where our file we are working in is currently located. As of now, it is located in C folder, and then Windows, and then System32. Okay, so this is my current directory. Next, I'm moving on to my tab, home tab. So as in every software, if at all you are taking an Excel, basic Excel, you are taking a basic Word document, what will be there in the home tab? So it will be like you want to save your document, you want to open an existing document. Similarly, this also have the same. Okay, so if I want to import a new script, sorry, if I want to create a new script, if I want to use a new live script, don't get messed about what is meant by script and a live script. Through the class, once we go inside the class, we'll be learning about that. Okay, don't get messed up on that. So if I want to get new script, live script, functions, live function, class, system, projects, everything, you can use that. If you want to open an existing thing, you can open, you can find, you can import, everything we can do. Okay, as of now, I'm just not touching these, because when I just go to the certain topics, I can just tell you, I can elaborately tell these function, how it is used, everything, so that it will be somewhat, it will be easy for you to understand at that time, rather than explaining now, messing up many things. Okay, so I'm just moving on to the next tab, which is the plot function. So as everyone knows what is meant by plot function. So if we are just correlating multiple set of data, we'll be using plot functions, right? So in the same way, basically MATLAB is used for something like simulation and analysis, right? Most probably they'll be using to determine set of data or data analysis or data interpretation, right? So for that, we'll be using this plot tab. Okay, so we have a number of plots, whether you want a line or a pie chart or a continuous line or something like a scattered, everything, contour, everything we can get it. Okay, so moving on to the next, we have a dedicated apps tab. Okay, so what is meant by app? In general, what is meant by app? So app represents some applications, right? So in your mobile also, you'll be using certain apps, right? You have a certain apps for your music player, you have an apps for a camera, you have apps for news, right? Everything you have a certain apps, right? So even here in MATLAB, we have subject specific graphs. Okay, so I'll just show some graphs, apps. Okay, so I have some subject subject specific apps. Okay, so these apps are something like we just use it in machine learning and deep learning. These are used for math, statistical and optimization, then control system, automotive, signal processing and communication, image processing, test and measurement, even in finance, computational biology, code generation, everything it is used. These are something like a predefined or inbuilt apps. So if you want to add an app, you can just design an app. If you want to install, you can just download the entire package. You can do that. So these are something very basic thing which comes with the software. Okay. So we are done with the command window, which is this, and then a current folder, and we just saw about a basic overview of the tabs, home tabs, plots, and apps, right? So we'll just go on to the last topic of this GUI, which is the workspace. So what is the workspace? Okay, so workspace is nothing but a collection of end results. So whatever I did, so 8 plus 8, my answer is 16. So answer got 16. So I just update again 6 into 8. So my answer variable is 48. It get updated. So if I just say a is equal to 9, just update what and all the data values it have, it just updated. What and all I have used in my program, in my command window, it is like a short note. Okay, this value is this. At the end of this value is this. So I'm just reassigning. I'm just giving another value, b to be 10. It just keeps b to be 10. Now I'm just reassigning a to be something around 18. So it does from 9 to 18, it just changes. Right? So in short, workspace is nothing but it just collects the set of data and its data values, the data types, whether it is maybe an integer, string, character, well, everything it may be. Okay, so it just collects the data out of the command window. So you are using some n number of data inside that. So it will be collecting those n number of data and it will be sorting out it. So this value is this. As the end of the program, at this stage, this entire variables used are a, ans, and b. So those values are 18, 48, and 10. Okay, so this is something about GUI of a MATLAB software. Okay, so I'm just navigating back to my presentation. Okay, yeah. So we just saw about command window, workspace, and then current folder, and some various tabs present in there, right? So we'll move on to the next thing. We'll just see some common operations, how to do in MATLAB. Okay, so in this, what you are going to see is we'll be learning about, we'll be playing about some basic operation, addition, multiplication, division. We'll be doing that, and we'll just learn how to clear command window, how to clear variables, how to look out current variables, what are some basic variable functions. Okay, so we'll move back to the MATLAB software. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So in general, what I did here is I just gave 8 plus 8. Did I mention any alphabet? If I just any assume to be any variable, something like here I did a is equal to 9 or b is equal to 10. I didn't do anything. Sorry. I just mentioned 8 plus 8. So what was my answer? What was my answer? So my answer was 16. So it is clearly noted that if I didn't mention any variable or if I didn't assign any variable, the output of the function automatically get assigned to a variable called ANS. Okay, so what is that? So if I didn't mention any variable or if I didn't assign any variable to a particular operation, its output will be assigned to a variable called ANS, which indeed called answer. Okay, so I'm just going to do the thing. Okay, sorry. I just say I'm now doing, see now ANS was 48, right? So I'm just giving 10 into 9. I'm not assigning any variable to it, right? So I'm just pressing enter to run the or to execute this. I'm just pressing enter. So my ANS, it got updated to its ANS value, okay, 90. So you can just check that. It gets changes. Okay, so it is noted that if we don't assign a particular set of operation, then MATLAB by default it assigns to the variable called ANS. Okay, if I assign a variable a is equal to 50. Before it was a is equal to 18. I just reassign that and I just press enter. So my value of a got reassigned to 50. I just introduce another variable called c, which is equal to the value of a. Okay, I just got a variable called c whose value is equal to a. I just enable the chat so that you can just interact with me. Yes. So I just reassign my value c is equal to a. If I just execute that, what will be my answer? What will the value of c to be? Yes, it is 50. So in my workspace, another variable got added. It is 50. Right? Okay. Now I'm just saying, I'm just reassigning my value of a to be 100. Okay. So if I just press my enter key, so what changes I'll get in my workspace? Okay, so here we come. If I just press enter, you can just see only a's value is getting changed. So what does it means? So every time we run an interpreter, it just does or it just execute the certain code after this arrow marks. Okay, so if I just say something like C, A to B, something like C to B, something like 55, then only the value of C changes. Because before it was C is equal to A also A was, does not change. Okay, so this was the basic and the notable thing we just want to know while doing some basic operations. Okay, so it's similar, like I can say multiplication, division, 4 into 8, it's same. See, everything rest all same. Okay, so what is the next? So now I am going to check what is the values. So I am going to introduce a new function here now. I'm just going to write WHOS. I'm coming again. It's WHOS. Whose? I'm just running it. So what's my output? So if I write whose, so it will just get me the list of datas or list of data types I have used. Okay, so what and all variables I have used? I have till date, I have used A, ANS, B, C. I have used 4 variables, right? So 4 variables. So what are its size? 1 cross 1, 1 cross 1, 1 cross 1, 1 cross 1. I'll just come over the size little ahead in this session. So size and then bytes I'll come. So it's class double. So what type of variable is this? These all are double integers, right? So when I just write whose, this particular function fetch me what and all variables I have used in my script. Okay, I have used A, ANS, B, C, right? So I have used what is the corresponding values, what is the size of it, what is the type of that variable, right? So I have introduced this. Now suppose I don't want to use or I totally want to eliminate the variable a from my script. How can I do that? For that I'm just using a function called clear. Clear A. I'm just saying clear A. Okay, I just press enter. So it's got executed. So I'm now again writing whose. Now when I write whose, I just gave a command clear A, it just eliminate that variable from my script. Now if I write whose, only 3 variables are there. That A got eliminated. Okay. So how to remove a data or how to remove a variable from a script. So you will be using a clear function, right? So next, I want to clear the entire window. I don't want to have any variable. I want to clear the entire window. What I'm supposed to do? I'll just write clear all. I'll just enter. So what does it does? So if I write whose now, I don't have any variable because I have cleared all the variables. Okay. So I'm just telling you about doing how to do a basic operation. Scripts I'll be letting you now. Just we are now at the basics like an alphabets. We are just studying ABC of MATLAB. Scripts are nothing but if in an alphabets, if you just take A, P, P, L, E, apple, if you combine some letters, you will be getting a word, right? The same way, we are at the very basic level. Don't get messed up with what is meant by script. If I just mention script means scripts is and nothing, something a big word. No. So you just don't want to get what to say messed up with the words. I'll be taking you each and everything from the very basic scratch. Okay. Okay. So I just write whose. So it deletes everything, every variable I have used in my script. Now I'm just going to press my up arrow mark in my keyboard. So I just press up arrow mark in my keyboard. So it takes me to the list of things, list of operation that I have done now. So from 7:52 p.m. onwards, I have done this. So these I have done. Before what I have done, everything it will be there. Okay. So how come I got that? I just pressed my up keyboard arrow mark, right? So it just gets me this. Okay. I just come back, escape. I just delete this off. Okay. To clear the entire command window, I just write CLC and enter. It clears everything from my command window. Okay. So what is next? We just saw about how to clear a command window, how we just clear the entire command window. We just use CLC. How to look at a current variables. We just use whose function, WHOS, right? How to delete current variables. We just use clear and then which variable you want to clear. And then we just saw about basics of variables, right? We'll move on to the next thing. We'll just try to understand some variable types. Okay. So in this module, what are you going to see? So we are going to learn something about how variable are treated as matrices. What is the meaning of size in a variable? How to define variable in the form of matrices and how to deal with variables in workspace. Okay. For that, I'm just jumping back to my MATLAB software. Okay. So as you know, as everyone knows, I don't want to bring this as new thing. I just explain or I just give you a short introduction why the name MATLAB was given. Okay. So what is meant by MATLAB? Okay. MATLAB means matrix laboratory. Okay, whatever input you are going to give, it will convert or it will store it as a matrix form and it will try to work on it. Okay, so if at all you give a number, it will convert into a matrix. If you give a variable, if you give a string, it will convert into a matrix. Everything it will convert into a matrix and it will work on. Since it converts, its base point is works with a matrix, its name was brought up from that. Okay, so that's the name, like it got oriented like that. It's matrix, and lab is for laboratory. Okay, so I just write a new variable a is equal to 9. Okay, I just click enter. So it just give me the value a is equal to 9. Okay, so I just write whose. If I write whose, what will be shown? So it will show me what are all the current variables I am using. Right? So what is my current variable is a. What is the size? 1 cross 1. Now you can correlate. Okay, whatever input we give, it just correlate. It will just change into a matrix and it will work. Okay, well, as everyone know, the size of a double is 8 bytes. The size of a single double is 8 bytes, right? So when I just click that, see how it got 1 cross 1. I just go to my workspace. I have a matrix symbol here and just double click it. It just opened. So we just gave an input as 9. So you can see here, I have my a variable. This is my variable tab a. Is just converted into matrix. It is a 1 cross 1 matrix. So one cell only will be there. You're getting that? Everyone is getting that? Okay, so I just close as of now. I'll just update my a variable into a bigger size matrix. How I am going to do? How a matrix will look like? A matrix is a set of rows and columns, right? So I'll be consider I have 3 rows and 3 columns. So totally how many elements will have? First row 3 elements, second row 3 elements, third row 3 elements. So totally 9 elements will be there, right? So I'm going to reassign my variable a to be having a 9 elements. Suppose consider to be a 3 cross 3 matrix. How can I write that? So before we just wrote 9, so single element, so it took us a single 1 cross 1 matrix. Now I am going to use square braces. I just start writing the first row. First row, let it be 9, and then I use space to say the next element. Okay, 8, and then space, I'm saying next element is again 9. Okay, now I am going to say my MATLAB, I have written my first row, just jump on to my next row. For that, what I'm using? I'm just using a colon. Okay, I just use colon and then I say 10 and then 9, 8, and then I use colon again, so that just go back to the next row, and then I say 1, 2, 3. I just close my braces. I just press enter. Okay, so now I see first row 9, 8, 9, 10, 9, 8, 1, 2, 3. If I just write whose now, what will be my size of the variable a? What will be the size of the variable a? Yes, it's 3 cross 3. So we have 9. Okay, so for a single double number, we have a single double value, we have 8. So 9 elements we have, so 72 the bytes. Okay, so I can now clearly explain. Now I'm just going back to my workspace. I'm double clicking it. So you can see how 3 cross 3, how my input is converted into a matrix. See, got converted into a matrix. Okay, so I just close as of this. Okay, I'm just it's very easy, right? So we are giving an input, every input is converted into a matrix form. It's just storing it as a matrix form. If you want to execute something, it will do something and it will store in a matrix form, right? So now my question is, okay sir, I just have written this, I just want to call this function. How can I want to call the number 8, which is at first row on the second column. Okay, so as you can see, bytes. Okay, so how you can say what is the distance between Chennai to Delhi? You won't be saying 1500, right? So you'll be saying 1500 kilometers, right? So these bytes are nothing but the size of the variable. So A have 9, one number. If you want to store a number, which is a number, okay, so it will take 8 bytes. See, we have one number here, so 8 bytes. We have 9 numbers here, 9 8s are 72. So size of that is, in simple term, if you want to say, it is something like in a 2 GB pen drive. If you are storing a movie, okay, your movie is something 1 GB, how many movies you can store? Okay, so GB is nothing but gigabytes, it's ordinary bytes. Okay, the same way class is nothing but, if you have worked on with Python or anything, you will be saying no, yeah, it will be integer, string value, character, you'll be saying no. Double means it has certain size, its size is 8-bit. Yes. Okay, so we'll just move on to the next thing. I'll just tell you, if I want to change the value, what I can do, I can just double click that and I can change that. It's automatically changed. Or else I can right click here and I'll say edit values. I can just directly edit here. Okay, so if I want to duplicate the item, I just right click here, duplicate me, copy. Okay, the same way you just get me the maximum out of this value. Just maximum is not there, you just give plot graphs, everything is there, you just give maximum. So maximum out of these 9 numbers is 9. So you can get minimum also, right click here, just minimum, I just navigate to the side, so minimum is 1. So same way, I just right click, you just give mean value is 6. So I can get whatever thing I want from the set of data. What is the thing, what is that thing, what is this, what is the mean value, what is the size of that, what is the bytes, what is the class, whatever we want, based on your convenience, whatever you want, you can choose that. Okay, so okay sir. Sorry. Now you may ask, sir, okay, fine. Now you just gave a set of numbers. Okay, it's not a big deal converting a numbers into a matrices form. So you give something like this, it get matrices form. That's not that's something different. If we enter a string value, suppose I just say something b, a new other variable called b, to be a value called a string value called hello world. So how does it store, sir? Okay, we don't want to think, we just execute and see. I just keep enter. Okay, just prints, I just assign that value that. So I'm writing whose. A copy is okay, 3 cross 3. B is 1 cross 11. So what it does, so it takes as an entire row and then divide each letter into a column. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What? Here 1 cross 11, but here only 10 letters. What is the thing? Why it is 11? Yes. So we do have a space. So space also counted here. Okay. So how much you have? 5 here and a space. So I got 11. So if you have this, so here you can see, if you just check it keenly, for a double value, which is mean if you have a number, it will be like a checked box. If you have the variable to be a string or a character, if you see, the box will be like ch, which represents the character. If you just double click that, it just see. Okay. So I'm coming back. Okay, I'm just, as of now, I'll clear the screen. CLC. Okay, so I'm just going to say some new things. I'm going to say some new things. Let's see you can get or not. A is equal to, I'll just say hello world. I just enter, you're gonna say. So now I'm just using another variable b is equal to, okay, b is equal to, I'm just using normal braces. I just give enter. So anyone can know what type of error we are getting here or something like that? Any guesses from the people? To clear a command windows, you can use CLC. Okay. So I'm right. See, I just want a matrix again. CLC. I'm just writing the matrix again. A is equal to A copy. Okay. A copy. A equal to A copy. We just okay. So A becomes like this. Now I'm going to do one thing. You just tell me what I have done here. Okay. So I'm writing A and then 2 colons is equal to A. What I did here, you just look at keenly so that you can understand that. Can anyone say me what? Yes, great. So yeah. So what I did, so I just say from a variable. So okay, in whatever in we are writing right inside as normal braces, whatever thing we are going to introduce number, whichever thing is, that denotes a row. If you use after comma, that describes column. Okay, so I'm just reading out. See, in a matrix, in second row, I'm using semicolon instead of writing any number. Okay, So in second row, colons means all number. So in second row, take all numbers and reassign that into A matrix, first row, all numbers. So what it does, it prints the first row. Second row, what it does, it takes the first row and print it again. So it replacing. Okay, now what I'm doing, see, I'm just taking A. Okay, in A matrix, take the third row. Okay, third row, take the third row and reassign to be the first row again. What my matrix will be? I just keep enter. All rows will be equal to each other, right? Okay, so I'll just say I'm just using string. Now you're gonna answer me. I just write B's values, B enter as B is hello world, right? So I'll just write CLC to clear my window. Okay, so what is the value of B? B is hello world, which is a string. Okay, so if I write whose, so B is an 1 cross 11 matrices, right? So it is a first column, every element is there, right? So if I want to again make it into a big matrix, how can I add a string? Before I was using spaces to say each element and then comma or a colon to say next row, right? So how can I describe a set of strings to assign a matrix? Okay, so what I'm doing, see, B is equal to, I'm just saying I'm going to input a string. Okay, so string value, what I'm going to do, sorry, I'm going to start with a square braces and I'm saying string value. Okay, what is the string value? Hello world. Okay, hello world, and then I use comma to say the next element. Okay, is that fine? You just check what you are getting that. You just work along with me. You just check along. I just tell you, see, I just use comma here, what is coming. I just say, I'm good. Okay. I'm good. Okay. I'm good. I just say, if I run this, what happens? See, if I just click enter, you just say a set of it's a string array. It says it's a string array. It's a set of string arrays. So what if I write who's C? Now it is two elements. It's not divided into each element. The whole hello world is taken as one element. The whole I am good is taken as second element. Now if I just go back to this and see, it has. It was not divided. Each thing was not divided into two. It is the whole thing. Hello world was taken as one, and I am good was taken as two. Right? The same thing I can keep on adding. So I can use commas and I can add. So in number of words, I just use semicolons to say next row. Okay, so here commas to say next element and semicolons to say next row, right? So as last of this session, I'm going to end up with a basic question. Okay, so I just want everyone to answer that. Okay, so I'm going to write a new variable called k. Okay, k is equal to, I'll just enter some value, 1 2 3, not a space here. Okay, and then I say, okay, and then I say 4 5 6, and then 7 8 9. sorry 7 8. So what will be my answer if I run? What will be the size of this variable k? Whether if I run this, I will get any error. If not, okay. So we can just try to answer. Okay. So I just have 3 elements in my first row, 3 elements here, 2 elements here. So as practical, it will be something around three elements in the first row, 3 elements in the second row. One element is missing, right? Yes, we will be getting red people. Yeah, we'll be getting an error. You just remember one thing: if you are using a numerical value in a MATLAB, so it must be a square matrix. So it should satisfy, the row must be equal to the columns. Okay, so I am supposed to add a number. If at all, if I just click enter, you can see it is a dimension of the errand being concentrated. So you just change that. Okay, so I can just say k is equal to 1 2 3 and then 4 5 6 and then 7 8 9. Okay, so I just keep enter. Yeah, we can keep zeros also. I can just see, I'm just editing here, edit this value, edit value. I just keep here instead of 9, I keep 0. So if I say k, it is value 0. We can add 0, but it should not be a null element. So you are asked, yeah, tell me. So I will just wind up. We don't want to mess up everything in the very first day. Okay, we don't want to mess everything. It's not required. No, it's not required. So colon just says it's stop. It's went to next column. So you don't want to use space between the number and the colons. I'm just saying, I just gave a word called if you are using a double value. If I'm not saying if you are using a string or if you are using a character, if your variable type is a double, means which you are using a number, then it must be a square value. Okay, you just try it. So I'm just writing L is equal to, I'm just saying 1 2 3. Okay, after without writing this, I'm just writing again 2 3 4. Okay, you see that something, it's like we will be using that, right? Before we were using something to identify a number, something like I can say L uh, first row second column, I can say 1 comma 2 equal to 9. It just changes into 9, right? So instead of messing up, we can just, for our convenience, I'm just using space here and all, right? So if it use space, if you don't use space between this column, before the colon or after the colon, that doesn't mean anything. For our appearance, it does. For our ease, for our convenience. So I'll just wind up the session with a last topic, last thing. So we just got up on two things, right? two things we just saw, which is a double value and a string value. Now I'll just give a next type of data which is most used in the what to say in MATLAB function is logical data. So can anyone guess what is that logical data means? So I'm just giving a new variable d is equal to logical of and giving a set. So logical is nothing but input either be a 1 or 0, true or false, something like a boolean logic. So I'll be giving 1 0 1 0. Next line to be 1 1 0 1. Okay, it's a logical array. Suppose you can ask me a question. Suppose, sir, I'm just copying this again. Okay, I'm just pasting it here. If I suppose in a logical, if I use a number something not equal to 0 or 1, what will happen? It will pop me an error or it will do anything else. Can anyone say me this? So I'm in a logical thing, it is allowed to use 1 or 0. If I use something like a number which is not equal to 0 or 1, what it will happen? So shall we check a try? Okay. So I'll just giving enter. You can see that any value greater than 1, it is taken as 1. Whatever value, it will check. It is 0 means it will pop as a 0. Any other value greater than 0, it will taken as 1. Okay. Suppose I am writing a negative number here. What will be my answer? This is the assignment for the day. Okay, suppose I am writing d is equal to logical of 1 0 minus 1 0 and 1 0 1 1 0 1. What will be my answer? Okay, this is the assignment for the day, and we'll just wind up the knowledge transfer session as of now, and then we'll just dedicate it on doubt clarification. So participants can post their doubts so that I can just clarify what all we just saw today. If you have any doubts, you can just post it. I can answer it. Okay, I'll just come over the logical again. Okay, so logical is nothing but it's a either 1 or 0, true or false. Okay, so logical is nothing but it will be used mostly in gates, whether the gate is open or closed. It is true or false, it is on or off, that only. So it is a type of data. If I just say my data type is a double, so it will, what does it means? So I can just have a set of numbers. If I say my data type is a string, then what does it mean? It is consists of alphabets, a set or a phrase of alphabets, right? The same way, if it is, I say my data type is a logical, then it has the values either to be 1 or 0. See, the one more thing I'm just saying, I want you people to understand clearly. Whatever I say, project in your thing. Okay, I just congratulate the one of the member. So D is not a square matrix. Yeah, great. So see, if I just open this, or let me, yeah, this is open. Okay, so you can say, sir, it is not a square matrix, even though it is type is double. It doesn't. It is not a square matrix, right? Okay, so you can say why it is so. Can anyone explain why it is so? We just spoke about, I just clearly mentioned, if your data type is so and so, if your data type is a double, then it must be a square matrix. If your data type is, you can just check now. You can just reassign this value, or you can just give another try. Okay, something like is equal to, I just write a set of numbers 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I gave thing. Let's write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number. Okay. So what does it means? If we have two rows, or if we have a row, we just want to check the preceding values, or the preceding rows or a column should satisfy the above row. Consider if we have 6 elements in the first row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then in the second row also it should have a 6 element. The whatever I have mentioned, it should be a square matrix. It doesn't mean the something like if I have used 3 columns, I should not get a 3 rows. It's not a dimensionally square matrix. I'm just pointing out the number of elements in the first row should be equivalent to the second row. Okay, so whose function, if I write a copy is also coming, because a is a different variable, a copy is a different variable. Okay, I guess everyone is done with the today's class. Don't have any doubts. If so, we can wind off. B strings to 36,000. Yeah. So what is a B? So you can just check. B is hello. B contains hello world, means 11 characters here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? Here 9 and then here 11. So 20 we have. For a single string, what is the value? You just calculate the single string's value. Suppose something like I assign a variable f to have a string value of L. Okay. I write whose. So what is whose value? F value is 2. Character value is 2. So you just multiply that with this. Okay, so it's not nothing but if you buy a product for 10 rupees, if you buy the same product for if you buy same product 10 quantity, how much size or how much price it varies? Okay. So what is the value of B here? So what is the value of supposed to be, I just introduce other variable called, just hold on. I just clear this off. Okay, and just giving my f variable to be uh, hello world. Okay, so if I write whose, what is the size of f, which is I have 11 elements, so each element size is 2, each alphabet size is 2, so I have 11 characters here, so 11 into 2, 22. Okay, since it is a character, it has two character sizes, 2. Are you getting that? This one you are getting that, how we got 22 here? Are you getting that? Yes. So the same way, if for a double, what is the value of a single double, a single number, what is the value of a byte of a single double? 8. The same way, for a string is nothing but a set of characters. So we'll be assigning for 2 bytes, for a 2 string value, this much means for a single string value, what is the value? It is, yes, 168. No, just check it again. It is 118. Yeah, so a single string value holds a byte of thing. Okay, so the same thing, same example, if you store a something like a movie, it will take 1 GB. The same way, if you just store a small clipping, it will take some 20 or 30 MB, right? So they based upon the type of character, if it is a number, if it is a double, it will be 8. If it is a if it is a character, it is just take 2 bytes. If it is a string means a collection of data, it may go very big also. I can write Malayalam, I can write anything, any big letter I can write, welcome, I can say anything, right? So its maximum value is 118. Yes. Okay, hope everyone understood this. uh, so we'll wind up the session. Okay.